Hello and welcome to the Spec Designs podcast. Imagine, a homeowner in the year 2026 and they're standing in a completely flooded basement.
Oh, total nightmare scenario.
Right. I mean, the panic is definitely setting in and they don't pull out a phone, open a browser, type in some fragmented keywords, and patiently scroll through pages of blue website links.
Nobody has time for that when the water is rising.
Exactly. They just yell at their smart speaker, "Find an emergency plumber near me who can come right now." And the AI, it doesn't read off a list of 10 options.
No, it just gives them one name.
One single definitive answer spoken right back to them. So today, our mission is to break down the exact mechanics of how to ensure that one name is your business.
And I'd argue it is the single most important shift happening in digital visibility right now. I mean, the way people look for things online has completely mutated.
Yeah, totally.
We're transitioning from this era of manual indexing to an era of automated synthesis.
And if you run a business or, manage a brand's digital presence, adapting to this isn't just a fun option anymore.
It's vital.
Right. It is vital to avoid becoming effectively invisible in the future. We need to extract the exact architectural steps to make your business the most logical, authoritative choice for these AI systems.
Which is a whole different ballgame.
It is. And we're going straight to the cutting edge today. We are basing our entire discussion on a highly comprehensive new blog covering AI search optimization.
And what makes this blog such a goldmine is that it really skips the superficial advice.
Yeah, the fluff.
Exactly. It actually lays out the underlying mechanics of how advanced AI systems evaluate, weigh, and ultimately decide who to recommend. It's a completely different rule book.
So I want to make a promise to you as you're listening to this today. We're going to make this a shortcut for you. You're going to walk away well-informed on this crucial evolution of digital marketing, but without feeling overwhelmed by technical jargon.
But we aren't going to water it down either.
No, definitely not. We are going to explain exactly how this technology works.
Which is necessary because understanding the mechanism is really the only way to adapt your strategy. Like you mentioned, we are moving away from traditional indexing.
So no more just scanning for keywords.
Right. Advanced systems like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity, they don't just match keywords from a database anymore.
Wow, okay.
They're utilizing natural language processing and machine learning to actively read trusted data, digest it, and generate a completely new direct response based on the semantic intent behind the user's query.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when I first read the term, the blog uses generative engine optimization, or GEO, my immediate reaction was a bit of skepticism.
That's a pretty common reaction, honestly.
Right. Because we both know the traditional SEO playbook backwards and forwards. You need a fast website, clean architecture, solid backlink.
Good headers. Yeah.
Yeah, relevant keywords. So is GEO actually fundamentally altering that math? Or is this just, traditional SEO getting a trendy new rebranding to sell consulting hours?
It's a totally fair pushback, but it is unequivocally not a rebranding. Think of it this way. AI search optimization doesn't replace traditional SEO, it evolves it.
Evolve in what way?
Well, it demands a significantly higher threshold of structural clarity and trust verification. A fast website and some good backlinks might get you indexed, but they won't get you synthesized.
So it's like old SEO is making sure your business was listed in the Yellow Pages index.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
But AI search is like trying to convince a highly discerning hotel concierge to actually recommend you to a VIP guest.
What's fascinating here is how the AI's own self-preservation instinct changes the game.
Wait, self-preservation?
Yeah, think about it. If a traditional search engine hands a user a list of links and one of them goes to a bad website, the user blames the website.
That's true. I never blame the search engine for a terrible website.
Exactly. But if an AI explicitly synthesizes an answer and recommends a plumber who actually went out of business 6 months ago, the user stops trusting the AI.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the AI looks stupid.
Right. The AI's own reputation is entirely on the line with every single zero-click answer it provides.
So the concierge won't just hand over a phone book. They synthesize the guest's needs, and they only recommend a place they have absolute confidence in.
Because if the meal is bad, the concierge looks terrible.
Exactly.
See. And to maintain that confidence, this new digital concierge looks for 4 foundational pillars before it will even consider running your data through its engine.
Okay, what are the 4 pillars?
Number 1, a perfectly clear description of your service. Number 2, an obvious verifiable service area.
Makes sense.
Number 3, definitive proof that you are a real actively operating business. And number 4, business details that match flawlessly across your entire digital footprint.
But, even if the AI wants to act as a cautious concierge, it can't recommend you if your own website copy is actively confusing it.
Oh, this is such a huge problem.
Yeah, the blog gives a fairly harsh warning about a trap almost every business falls into, which is vague marketing slogans.
It's a massive vulnerability. We see it constantly.
Like when you land on a homepage and the text boldly declares something like, quality service you can trust, or innovating the future of local solutions.
Right, which sounds great in a boardroom maybe.
Yeah, but the blog points out that this teaches the AI absolutely nothing.
Worse than nothing, actually. It creates statistical ambiguity.
Statistical ambiguity.
Yeah. We have to remember that AI systems, at their core, are just massive prediction engines. They are constantly running probability calculations, trying to reduce uncertainty.
So they're just guessing what a web page means.
Pretty much. And when their web crawlers hit vague copy, their uncertainty goes way up. They literally cannot map those abstract words to a specific real-world service with a high enough confidence score.
So for you listening, I want you to try a thought experiment right now. If an AI had to describe your business in one single sentence based exclusively on the text sitting on your homepage today, what would it say?
Most of the time, it would have no idea.
Right. It's like going to a highly specific professional networking event and wearing a name tag that just says, a great professional.
Nobody is going to refer business to you.
Exactly, because they don't know if you're an accountant or an architect.
The AI needs you to drop the poetry. The blog is super clear on this. You have to use plain language.
So instead of quality service you can trust,
The algorithm needs to read, we provide residential plumbing repair in Grand Rapids and nearby towns.
that feels almost too simple, doesn't it? Like for a marketer?
It feels overly simplistic to human marketers, sure, but to a machine, it provides exact semantic coordinates.
And this ambiguity problem isn't just on homepages. The blog heavily highlights the danger of thin service pages.
Oh yeah, the classic cast a wide net mistake.
You know the ones. A business tries to cram 5 different services and 10 different service cities onto one single page.
From an AI's perspective, casting a wide net just muddies the waters. If a single page talks about roof repair, window installation, and driveway paving across 10 different counties,
The AI just gets confused.
right, it cannot determine the primary entity of that page. The confidence score drops below the threshold required for a direct recommendation.
So it's clarity over cleverness every time.
Absolutely.
But the blog also points out a critical technical step to bypass this language parsing altogether,
Yeah.
like a way to literally hand the AI a cheat sheet. It recommends implementing something called JSON LD,
Yes. JavaScript object notation for linked data.
which sounds incredibly intimidating.
It does, but the blog explains it brilliantly. You don't need to know how to code to understand what it does.
Okay, so what does it do?
Think of JSON LD as a highly structured, machine-readable summary of your business. It's a specialized block of data that gets placed entirely in the background, specifically in the head section of your website's code.
So the human visitor never even sees this.
Completely invisible to the user, but glaringly obvious to the AI.
I see.
Instead of forcing the language model to read your paragraphs and, guess your street address or guess your primary service, this data block explicitly feeds the AI key value pairs.
So it literally spoon feeds the machine.
Yes, it says entity type, local business, exact name, Smith Plumbing, exact address, 123 Main Street, exact zip code. It's the exact data structure the machine wants.
Okay, so let's say you've executed this perfectly. You clean up your copy, your name tag is clear, and you've got that machine-readable JSON LD sitting in the head section of your site.
Let's start.
The AI understands exactly who you claim to be, but the AI still won't just blindly take your word for it, will it?
Not a chance. An AI is inherently skeptical because its reputation relies on accuracy. The website is just the starting point.
So it needs more proof.
It requires external verification, which brings us to the concept of your digital footprint across the wider internet.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because the blog points out that the AI cross-checks your website against a massive array of external databases.
It's actively pinging everywhere.
Yeah, your Google Business Profile, Bing Places, Apple Business Connect, Facebook, Yelp, industry-specific directories.
Think of it like a GPS system trying to pinpoint your location. One satellite your website isn't enough to confirm your exact coordinates.
Right, it needs to triangulate.
Exactly. It wants to see the Google Business Profile satellite, the Yelp satellite, and the Apple satellite, all pointing to the exact same set of data points. If they align, the AI achieves high confidence.
Wait, I have to stop you there.
Mm.
Are you seriously telling me that a local mom-and-pop shop with a clean digital footprint can actually beat a massive corporate competitor in AI search results?
Oh, 100%.
How is that actually possible when the massive corporation has $1 million advertising budget and thousands of legacy backlinks?
Because the AI is calculating the probability of a negative user experience. The big company might have massive authority metrics, but if they have messy data,
Like what?
like if they moved offices 3 years ago and half the internet still lists their old address,
Oh, they see.
the AI's confidence score in that entity plummets. But if the small local company has incredibly clean, consistent details and fresh, relevant reviews, the AI calculates a much higher probability of a successful interaction.
So consistency is the ultimate trust signal.
It really is.
That makes sense when you explain it as a probability calculation.
Sure.
But it also means it is terrifyingly easy to mess up.
It is very fragile, yes.
The blog emphasizes how tiny, seemingly microscopic inconsistencies can completely destroy your digital trust.
Like spelling out street versus using ST.
Yes. Or let's say your website lists your address with suite B,
Yeah.
but your Facebook page just has the street address with no suite number. Or your website says you are open 24/7, but your Yelp profile says you close at 5 o'clock.
To a human being, that just looks like a minor typo. We just use common sense.
Right. We can infer what you mean.
But an AI isn't making a human judgment call. Conflicting data means its calculation drops from a 99% certainty to a 50% certainty.
And it won't serve a 50% answer.
Not when another business in town offers a 99% certainty. It will bypass you completely.
So ensuring your zip code is identical, getting the suite number right, making sure the phone formatting matches everywhere, it feels tedious, but it's structurally mandatory.
It is mandatory, and the blog makes a definitive point regarding this triangulation process. For local services, your Google Business Profile, your GBP, acts as the absolute primary source of truth.
It carries the heaviest weight.
Exactly. You have to keep it meticulously complete and current. In fact, the blog advises ensuring your GBP is always optimized by utilizing the Get Real Leads service that they mention, specifically to manage this exact burden.
Okay, so once that GPS triangulation verifies you exist and your data is perfectly clean, we move to the next hurdle.
Right, proving you're the best option.
The AI knows who you are and where you are, but how does it evaluate your expertise? What kind of content actually proves to this AI concierge that you deserve the recommendation?
Well, the blog states very clearly that generic "Why Choose Us" pages are entirely useless.
Yeah, the fluff pieces about how much you care about the customer.
They don't give the AI any factual data to synthesize.
Right, you have to meet the buyer where they actually are.
Yeah,
And usually, they are somewhere between confused and cautious.
exactly. They are asking real buying questions into these AI tools.
They want to know about cost structures, project timelines, reasonable expectations, and the specific differences between their options.
So what does this all mean for the actual strategy of building pages on your site?
You have to abandon the old tactic of just stating you're the best.
And instead directly answer those granular questions.
And doing it naturally. The blog discusses integrating local language. You need to mention the specific neighborhoods you work in, the communities, regional challenges.
But, and this is crucial, do not revert to outdated keyword stuffing.
Yes. The blog is very clear on that. Do not just list your city name 30 times at the bottom of the page in a tiny font.
The natural language processing models see right through keyword stuffing. They penalize it because it indicates a low-quality, spammy site.
It wants conversational phrasing that provides genuine, contextual, local value.
This raises an important question, though, about the mechanism of proof.
Okay, what's that?
How does the AI mathematically distinguish between a business just writing great content, claiming to be good, versus a business that actually is good out in the real world?
Right. Anyone can hire a copywriter.
Exactly. It looks for secondary verification signals, which the blog identifies as multimodal search assets.
Multimodal meaning. Beyond just text.
Yes. AI systems are increasingly sophisticated at parsing visual evidence. They want to see original photos, videos, short case studies, before and after examples.
But wait, how does a photo help an AI that mostly processes text?
Because a raw original photo isn't just a picture, it contains metadata. Ah, hidden data.
Right. An original image taken on a job site carries the EXIF data, geolocation tags, and when paired with descriptive art text, it acts as a massive confirmation signal.
Because it proves to the AI that you are physically out in the real world doing the work in the exact neighborhoods you claim to serve.
Exactly. Visual evidence, properly tagged, dramatically boosts that confidence score.
That is fascinating. The blog also notes that anonymous content is a huge red flag for AI trust. Like if you have advice articles or guides on your site, it should be glaringly obvious who wrote them.
Yes, including author bios that explain exactly why that specific person is a verified expert.
Got it.
Furthermore, a highly efficient way to serve up these specific answers to cautious buyers is by utilizing FAQ sections.
But you can't just type out questions and answers in a normal paragraph block, right?
No, you need to use schema markup on those FAQ sections.
Which is another form of backend code. Exactly. It's a structured data format operating on the exact same logic as the JSON LD we discussed earlier. It explicitly tags the code to say, this sentence is the question and this block of text is the definitive answer.
So it just makes it incredibly easy for the AI's crawlers to discover the info, parse the relationship, and extract your answer directly for the user.
Spoon feeding again.
I love it. Understanding the underlying probabilistic mechanics of all this is incredibly helpful. But knowing the theory and actually applying it without completely paralyzing your daily business operations, that's the real trick.
It can be overwhelming.
Thankfully, the blog doesn't just leave us with the theory. It provides a very practical 30-day execution plan.
It acts as a roadmap to systematically update your architecture.
So let's walk through a detailed hypothetical of local business implementing this 4-week breakdown so you, listening, know exactly what this looks like in practice. Week 1 is entirely dedicated to technical foundations and NAPD consistency.
NAP meaning name, address, and phone number.
Right. This is the week you stop everything else and just fix the digital discrepancies.
Yeah.
You audit your home page, your contact page, your Google business profile, your Yelp page.
You ensure that if you spell out street on your website, you spell out street on Apple Business Connect.
You make sure the hours match perfectly everywhere.
And this is also the week you ensure that JSON LD structured data is properly implemented in your site's code. You're establishing the baseline coordinates for the AI's GPS.
Okay, then once the foundation is solid, you move to week 2, which is semantic service page optimization. And as we discussed earlier, this is where a lot of businesses struggle because the instinct is to cast a wide net.
Right. Semantic relevance is about creating tight meaning and context.
So what's the operational goal here?
The goal in week 2 is to rewrite your top service pages so that each page has a single undeniable focus.
One specific service.
One specific service, targeting one specific audience, grounded with local context. If you're a landscaper, you don't put lawn mowing, hardscaping, and tree removal on the same page.
You break them apart.
So the AI has zero ambiguity about what each page represents.
Makes total sense. Then, in week 3, you tackle informational content and FAQ strategy. This is the content that cures the cautious buyer.
You sit down and write out the detailed answers to those specific questions about cost, timing, and process.
And wrap those answers in the FAQ schema markup so the machines can easily ingest them.
Right. And finally, week 4 is focused on trust signals and social proof.
The blog makes a great point here, too. This isn't just about doing a one-time update.
No, week 4 is about building a sustainable workflow into your daily operations.
You need a repeatable process to collect fresh reviews from customers immediately after a job is done.
And a dedicated process for responding to those reviews to show active engagement.
This is also when you implement a workflow for uploading those original project photos with the metadata we talked about.
Right, the visual proof.
I really appreciate how the blog reassures the reader during this execution plan. It explicitly says you don't need to go panic publish 10 new blog posts before you fix these basics.
That would be a waste of time.
Because if your trust signals are broken, if your phone numbers don't match, and the AI's confidence score in your existence is sitting at 50%, publishing more content won't save you.
The goal of this entire 30-day plan isn't to somehow hack the algorithm. You cannot trick a semantic AI.
Exactly. The goal is simply to remove doubt. You are systematically making your business the safest, most mathematically logical entity to recommend.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, optimizing for AI completely redefines how we have to measure digital success.
Because historically, digital marketing relied on a very simple metric.
Yeah.
How many people clicked a blue link to visit your website?
But if the AI is synthesizing the answer and giving it to the user directly, you might never get that click.
So if traffic drops, how do you actually know if this 30-day plan is working?
The blog explains that your analytics dashboard has to evolve. You have to start looking for brand mentions directly within AI-generated answers. You monitor shifts in your web traffic, coming specifically from long-tail conversational queries rather than short keywords.
And most importantly, you look for real-world conversion improvements.
Right, like phone calls or form fills that seem to bypass those traditional website click-through patterns entirely. It is an entirely new paradigm for measuring visibility.
Which brings up a really fascinating forward-looking thought that I want to leave you with today. We are rapidly accelerating toward a world of zero-click answers.
We really are.
These generative engine optimization tools are getting so incredibly good at synthesizing definitive responses that users simply won't need to visit your website to get the information they want.
The AI will just tell them what you do, how much you charge, and what your past customers think of you, all in a single voice response.
It changes the entire utility of a website. So, as you implement this 30-day plan and clean up your digital footprint, I want you to mull this over as zero-click searches become the standard default for consumers. How will your business need to redefine what a successful website visit actually looks like in 2026 and beyond?
That's the real question.
If a prospect never sees your beautifully designed homepage, never clicks on your About Us page, but they still call your office to book a massive job simply because the AI concierge recommended you as the most trusted authority, your definition of digital engagement has to change entirely.
Are you prepared to measure success by trust and synthesis rather than just clicks and traffic?
It's a fundamental question every single business owner needs to be thinking about right now.
It really is the defining challenge of the next era of search.
Thank you for listening to the Spec Designs podcast. Please follow, subscribe, and contact Spec Designs with any questions or blog topics that you want to know more about.